Well, welcome back to
Okay.
another podcast. My name is Wyatt Wright, and today I'm here with Coach for the softball team, Coach Rod Radcliffe. How you doing today?
Real good. Yeah, it's nice to have good weather finally.
Yes, it is. It's very nice to have some sunny weather and no snow.
Yep.
Awesome. What's the first question? I'm gonna go with what first got you into coaching softball? Was this the path you
Um,
wanted to go, or was there a different path you had at first and then you wanted to go to coaching?
yeah, I actually started out, uh, my working world was farming. I farmed on our family farm. And with that, I was also coaching high school basketball at the time, ever since I got out of college and was doing that. Did that for probably about 15 years. And then I also played men's fast pitch. That also got me interested in the softball world, pretty much and things. So then I started coaching some high school softball along the way while I was still farming. Then I went into college coaching from there and coached basketball and softball at the same time. So then it just from there it just kind of took off, and I went pretty much the softball avenue from there. So yeah.
That's awesome. Do you ever miss coaching softball or basketball, I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah. Basketball is fun. I really enjoyed coaching basketball. You can do a lot of stuff with basketball. It seems like you have a little more control, like with subbing and different defenses. You can change a lot of things. Softball, you kind of pretty much you get everything ready before the game starts, and then it's just a matter of just adjusting as the game goes. Otherwise, you're kind of pretty much, do a little bit of adjustments, and that's about it in softball. So the work comes before the game mostly.
Yes. Okay, well, with the second question, I saw that you had a few transfers come in. Did it like adjust about like your team chemistry from before? Did they help you like get into it? Did they adjust pretty easily to you guys' chemistry you had going on in previous years?
Yeah, been doing this for a while, so you kind of get used to trying to get that blend to start right away. So you try to get that balance right away as far as the team getting built up and stuff. So we do a lot of team bonding in the fall. And there's a transition there when it doesn't matter if you lose one player, if you lose five players or 10 players, your team's always different the next year. So you do have to try to get that build up right away. But I will say this, the group of transfers we got in, they actually fit in with our group a lot faster, and it wasn't such an adjustment period. The one thing is being junior college athletes, they've had a couple years of college, so it's not quite as rough on them as it is like when you bring in freshmen. That's probably the harder part to get blended in, because they got a lot of new things that they're doing. The junior college transfers really want to play the sport yet, and everything. So they all have a common goal really as when you start the season. So this group really has this is really one of the closest teams we've ever had, and they seem to gel pretty good together overall. And that's tough to do too because we have a lot of competition, a lot of positions.
Mm-hmm.
So that causes a little drama sometimes and things
Yep.
like that. But I would say overall, the girls really handled it very well. You definitely don't want to be the one to get beat out of your position, no doubt. But yet, I think the maturity in our team is a lot better than it has been in the past, for overall the whole team. So that makes a big difference too with that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's been a fun year with that.
Do you from last year and the transfers coming in, do you guys have key returners coming back that's going to help you guys succeed this year? And then
Yeah,
do you
yeah.
have any?
We had probably about five or six girls. Cad Hunt and Riley Pacina in the outfield. They both started last year a lot of games. Sierra Bush and Peyton Todd and Hunter Huddle started in the infield a lot last year, and things like that. So, and then Sophie Stewart was on the mound a lot. Kaylee Yost was on the mound. She's actually right now currently injured. We're hoping to get her back hopefully by 1st of April, we're
Yeah.
hoping. So it's a tough blow for her because she's a senior and everything else. So you feel bad for that. But yeah, so we've got a little depth and then we got a lot of new. So So it is kind of a good mix.
You got any key transfers that really came in this year that's going to help you guys succeed really well?
Yeah, and that's probably the biggest thing, whether they're starting or they come off the bench. It did create a lot of depth for us with that, with all the things. So we had a couple other girls that were from California that came in that are injured that won't be able to probably play this year. We're still waiting on the doctors, but they were definitely depth or starters as before they got hurt. But yeah, Sophie Stewart, or I'm sorry, Sophie Meyer is coming in, will be one of the infield positions probably for us. She had a great career at junior college. Cabria Childers is a pitcher for us from the California area. Has come in, really think she can have a lot of innings for us as we go through. And then tough part about mentioning names, you're always going to forget some people when you do that. So you got to be real careful how you do it. So
Yep.
Layla Lopez this last week stepped up and uh, earned a lot of playing time. Our two catchers, Lula and Sam Vetter, both of them will get a lot. They're going to catch probably about every other game, which is nice. You can keep them fresh a little bit. Um, and then they can also DP at the same time. Both of them can play outfield too. So they got a little bit of opportunity to get in other positions too. So yeah, I would say we're about half and half with our team as far as returners and with our um, transfers coming in as far as our team goes. Then we got a couple of freshman pitchers that are stepping in due to injuries. So yeah, it's a good blend of everything.
Well, speaking about your guys' team goals, do you guys have a certain team goal besides obviously making a conference tournament? Do you guys have any other goals you guys want to hit?
Yeah, they're pretty traditional with others. Team goal wise, first thing we always emphasize, ladies, you need to have fun if you're going to do this. It's a game. We're not going to make a living playing this game. So let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy it throughout our college career and stuff like that. Uh, keep learning the game and keep having a passion for the game. I think is one of the biggest things that we really strive for because that's a challenge sometimes with women's athletics. So we want them to grow in their passion, keep learning the game. So team goals, in all honesty, yeah, the ultimate goal is make the conference tournament, no doubt. But we really try to emphasize, don't worry about any other game but the game we're playing. Let's go compete to try to win that game. When that game's done, we just got to forget about that game for the most part and move on to the next game and things like that. So we don't have a number of games that we have to get wins on or things like that. We don't emphasize that as much as we do. We try to just keep improving. And I think that's if we could keep improving every week, that makes a huge difference throughout the year. And that's kind of the challenge as a coaching staff to get that done, to get them to keep having that fire and keep improving and have the passion to get better each and every week instead of just, well, I'm playing, so that's all that matters, right? So
Yeah.
so that's the college atmosphere that you want to try to create in a program. And that's been a challenge here at Culver Stockton. And that's, what we're really striving for. And it's getting better every year. So even our first year, that was a challenge for those girls. And kudos to them those first couple years that they had to do a total difference in with a coaching mindset and stuff like that too. So this has been building every year and in the make of it. So really proud of what the girls have done so far. We got a good team. It's just we got to keep plugging away, get better every week because other teams are getting better every week too.
Yes. And then another question I got is with the Midwest weather being super unpredictable, obviously, I know at times it can limit the outside preparation and everything. How do you prepare from being inside for all the winter time to going to be playing your first time as a team?
Yeah. Well, the good thing is this is the farthest south I've ever coached. So actually, to me, the weather's better than I've ever been a part of. So, the negative is the facility isn't very conducive with what we can do as far as a team aspect goes. We can do a lot of individual things and things like that. We can do a lot of hitting. That helps. That our pitchers can get ready. So you just try to find every positive you can within the indoor to go with that. Definitely, every spring sport is hungry to get outside and get started so you can kind of get back into that routine, because really at the end of the fall, you're really rolling. And then we have that break. And now it's almost like you got to start all over
Yep.
again. And that's the tough part. And then after 2 weeks, they're not as excited to be in the indoors. So it's our job as a staff to try keep pushing them to keep them keeping that mindset to this will help you get better if you really come in with that mindset. So yeah, it's always a challenge with the spring sport, especially when we can't do a lot of stuff in here with our facility. But yet, thankful that we have a facility that we can do things because I've done it in a gym and I've done it in a racquetball court, and this is way better than that. So
Yes.
so it's not poor us really. It's just you always want more, right?
Yeah, that is
Um,
true.
and but yet, yeah, we and our girls worked hard all the 3.5, 4 weeks we've been indoors so far. So that really showed as we came into our first weekends of games too. We weren't as far behind as some years that we've been. So, yep.
Well, then, after opening weekend, from a coaching standpoint, was there any areas you looked to improve upon to help your team prepare the rest of the year and to get ready for
Yeah,
conference?
Yeah, first of all, some of the positives, I thought our defense was really well. I thought we did really well on base running. Those were two things that in the past we kind of struggled with, and we've worked hard on that. Our hitting is down a little bit yet, and that usually comes the more you get more reps, more everything live and things like that. But that's probably our hitting right now. That our identity is definitely defense and pitching right now. We hope to get to our identity of our team is offense because that really makes a difference on everything else if your offense can get rolling. So it's little things we got to tweak and little things like that. Um, have a little better game plan when they go up to hit, things like that. So, yeah, so first weekend through the 6 games, I thought was very positive. We got every person got to play and start, I think, which is huge because now we're seeing where our depth is. We're seeing what roles we can kind of build into coming into conference. And our emphasis is our conference. We want to really have a solid conference season. So, what can we do to build that up all the way up till conference starts? And within a month, we're starting conference. So, it's
Yes.
time to really go now. So we got to take advantage of every opportunity right now we can.
Well, speaking of this weekend, I see you guys have another 4 games coming up. What do you
Yeah.
guys look to be doing this weekend that's going to be different from last weekend?
Right. Yeah, we're gonna have to start creating our roles on our team a little bit more, and see who can be like a pinch hitter, who can be a defensive specialist, who can come in, be a base runner for us, and then also keep girls ready in case of an injury or anything that we still have our depth within our defense and stuff like that. So defensively, that's our main focus there. Pitching staff, we just got to keep building the arms up. We don't want to burn them out this time of year. So each one will get an opportunity to throw a lot and things. So uh, we really, but then really we got to just turn this offense around.
Yeah.
If we're not going to really hit the ball well, then we got to go to a small game or something else. We're going to figure it out, but we're hoping that we can get rolling. We have the hitters. It's just a mindset right now, things like that. Um, so yeah, not panicked about it at all. It sometimes it takes time, and again, like we said earlier, when you get a lot of transfers in, it's a different level for them too. So they got to make a huge adjustment coming in. It is different from junior college to even the NAI level. So that's a huge challenge for them to have to step up their game again too. So yeah, we're excited. I think really looking forward to the next 4 games. We play teams we've never played before. That's always kind of fun. So you never know what you're going to run into. But yet we just got to focus on ourselves each and every game and go from there. So
Well, I heard that you guys have a pretty strong leadership group. How do they prepare when you're not around, how do they prepare your team to get them ready and everything?
yeah, I don't know.
You just,
That's out of mind. That's that closed locker room type thing where uh, you know that's what we're trying to create here. You guys take care of your team. Let if you're self-invested, a lot of good things happen. Instead of always listening to what the coach always says and things like that, I shouldn't have to micromanage the program. This is college. You should take care of those little things. I'll take care of the stuff on the field the best that we can. Now, if we have to take care of something, we take care of it. But that kind of takes ownership for them. That now they're actually invested in a lot more because of that. And that's what we're trying to create here is that you as an athlete, you should love what you're doing. You should enjoy what you're doing here. And you should have pride in getting your team ready and get better every game, but yet not the highs and the lows. That's a tough thing with women's athletics is that emotion, right? So we try to create that culture that, hey, let's kind of level that out a little bit. And yet that's kind of the fun part of coaching women too, because they of the emotion that they have too, because they play hard as they
yeah.
can for their team, and that's the fun part of it. But then you got to eliminate the feeling part of it sometimes too a little bit. So and they're doing a good job with that. So as far as the leadership goes, it isn't just a select couple. It's a big group because I think the leaders need also support. It's lonely when you're a leader on a team, if there's only two or three of you, because there's always things that fall back on leaders all the time, right?
Yep.
We don't have the Michael Jordans that can go out there and everyone listens to exactly what they say. But yet, I think in the long run, it will help every one of those girls when they go on in their career that they've learned how to become a little bit more of a leader, things too. So there is a learning curve to it also, and stuff too. So we feel good about that. I think it's a great way to go with our program. That and I don't like one or two captains because it's a team thing. So that's why we build a bigger leadership program in our program here. So because I think it has to be a little more invested with our women's athletics and stuff like that. Um, it doesn't really matter the skill level. It matters where you are as a role with the leadership and stuff like that.
Yep.
So that's kind of what, who gains respect from their teammates. That's huge. Who works hard that everyone looks up to. Those are things that we're trying to find for leadership and things like that. So,
Well,
okay.
circling back to the injuries, how do you prepare your pitchers to be ready to go? Because I know it's kind of hard when you got a couple on the injured list and you
Yeah.
gotta get them out there and make
Yeah.
sure they don't get hurt.
And both of our pitchers' injuries were not surprises. They were hurt last fall. We were just trying to bring them along and hopefully be able to have them help us because you just want them to have a chance. And they worked hard the fall and through the winter to try to get back into it. To me, injuries are part of the game. You can't worry about it, but you do kind of prepare for it in little ways and things like that. But we have our pitchers actually work very hard outside of practice. They get themselves in shape. They get to the extra lifting, the extra maybe center, maybe for them for conditioning and things like that. Doesn't have to be all throwing. It can be working on your legs, you're working on your endurance and things like that. And then we're careful softball doesn't have a pitch count, right? And things like that. So we don't really go off a pitch count. But early on in the year, we probably won't have them go max out like we will at conference time. It's almost like this type of year, it's tough because it counts on our records, but this is our spring training, really, in all honesty. which kind of stings because it counts on your record. So, but we do kind of treat it that way so that we aren't hurting the arms, and things like that. Injuries will still happen even when
Yep.
you protect a little bit. So you just keep plugging away and try to do the best you can to not overuse them and yet keep trying to push them a little bit. And it's a fine line in there of what you got. And so really we coach each girl probably differently, according to how they are, where they're at, what their mindset is, how their conditioning goes and things too. So it's not a full squad, everyone does this same thing. We probably individualize it more than probably a lot of teams do, um, going according to what we have because we need pitchers. You got to have pitchers to play the game. So that's the one position no one can just step into. So you try to adjust it the best you can.
Yeah, well,
So,
and then last question, circling back to the Saturday games when you guys beat Midland, that was a pretty huge win
mhm.
for you guys in the program. How'd that make you guys
Yeah.
feel?
Yeah, the biggest thing I took out of it, what I tried to share with our team is you do realize you can be a very good team. You can be really good. You just beat a really good team. So you can't self-induce and hurt yourself in games. You need to have that mindset going into every game. And if you play that hard, and we did both games on Saturday, we played really hard. On Sunday, we played hard. I think we got a little tired.
Hmm.
And we did on Sunday, we played every single girl between the two games, which we tried to do that on purpose in order to create that depth and see who can play and things like that, who can step up, because you sometimes don't see it so much in practice. So, yeah, that game, Midland, is kind of what we will play in our conference most games, is really the key, right? So, because in our conference we're gonna probably two make the World Series again. And usually Midland gets beat out by the teams in our conference and
Yep.
regionals. So they are probably if they were in our conference, they'd probably be a 3, 4, 5 team in our conference. So, and if we're gonna make the conference tournament, we got to be able to beat a 3, 4, 5 team uh, to get to that level to get into a conference tournament. So I like playing a heavy schedule early and playing good teams. We'll have a good team again this week with an Indiana school that's really good, ranked that has a ranking too. So, but the problem is when you get beat by the teams that would be kind of considered bottom of our conference too. That's the disappointing thing. That's where we're trying to eliminate the highs and the lows. Can we go out and beat the teams that we need to beat and then keep competing to beat teams that, on paper looks like, oh, they should beat us. Now, can we compete and have the opportunity to have a chance to win that game? And when it comes right down to it, the Midland game, so in all honesty, Sophie Stewart pitched the best game I've ever seen her pitch at Culver Stockton.
Yeah, she did
Uh,
amazing.
she shut them out big time.
Yep.
Cabria's had a game where she shut out a team really well. But yeah, Sophie just came in and again, this is probably first time she's been kind of healthy. But she's been injured all winter too. So she's worked hard too. So uh, that was probably the best she's felt. And then come Sunday, she was hurting, so we didn't throw her again.
Yep.
Probably would have got another win if we would have thrown her again, but it probably isn't worth it now when conference is coming. So now she knows what she can do. Now hopefully she can keep building on that too.
Yes. Well, awesome. That's all I have for you today.
Yep.
Listen to another week for our podcast. Thank you, Coach, for your time and everything. Good luck to the rest of the year, and please go
Hey,
watch our Lady Wildcats.
yep. Thanks and good luck to you guys too.
Thank you.